What's up guys, Matt from footballboots.co.uk, and today I'm here with some of the brightest stars in world football. Now alongside that, I've got two pairs of the newest Hypervenom 3 boots. We're going to see what the kids' reactions are. So the best thing to do is actually let them have a little hold and see what they think. So we're going to have a couple there. If you take one boot there, sir. One boot in there, one boot at the back, and one boot there. So you guys at the end, what are your first thoughts about these boots? Maybe how they look?
They look very, well, you can see them from a mile away.
You can see them from a mile away. So obviously that design, what do you think about that half and half going on?
It actually looks quite cool, and like with the skin on the boot, it must help with like the control and things like that.
Yeah, it really does. So one of the things that help control is the ACC technology, which says on the medial part of the boot. Now alongside that, it also comes with the Nike skin technology, and this Nike skin is a very thin layer of synthetic that is above this knitted material. So what do you guys think down here about the actual knitted construction? What do you think about that?
I think it's really cool because it just looks really cool, and the colour and like the grip of it looks really good, and I think it looks very comfortable as well because it looks like the sock is the whole boot. So I reckon when you play with it, it would feel really comfortable.
So that's actually one of the main things about the Hypervenom 3 boots. On the previous variation, what they had was the knitted material going across the tongue, and then they changed to a Nike skin. So it's two types of material going on, but what they've done this time, like you said, to make it just like a sock, is they've made it full fly knit, which is the biggest thing for this football boot. And this is probably one of the best Nike boots ever made, and you're one of the first people in the world to see it in hand. So that's obviously an exciting thing. Now, obviously on the Phantom 3 DF, so this elite model, you've got the Phantom 2s on your feet. What's one of the differences between the Phantom 3 and the Phantom 2 about the upper itself?
Probably this upper, like the sock, is like a different shape. It's like that flips up there and it's like curves down a bit.
That's perfect. So that's obviously one of the new things about the Phantom 3 is that the collar height is completely different. So if you bring your foot up of there, we can see that on the Phantom 2, it was exactly the same level around the whole outside. So that was the first version of the dynamic fit collar that Nike introduced. Now what they've done is this is a new Phantom 3. So as we can see, it's actually higher on the medial side. So Nike have actually thought outside the box and gone a little bit deeper. So not just making it a sock-like fit, but there's actually higher bones in the ankle on the medial side compared to the lateral side. So that's exactly what they've done now.
All right, Harry, so you asked me a good question. The question was?
When will the kid sizes come out for these boots?
Well, the good news is the kid sizes are coming out at the same time as the adults one. And the really good news about these is in the past you've had the kids ones. Can I borrow your foot for a second? The kids ones have been a little bit different than the adults one. They didn't have the same upper, they didn't have the same skin. Slightly different than ones that you would have seen on like the adult version of these. But with this release, Nike have kind of upped their game a little bit, caught up with Adidas, and they're going to bring out exactly the same upper. So if you get a kids one, it's going to be this whole fly knit upper just the same. Like if I had it in my hand now, it would just be smaller and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Yeah. The only thing that's going to be different about them is the sole plate. So on these ones, you see there's a little bit of yellow. Yeah. This is they're like hyper reactive and it's a little bit softer and it bends and flexes here. Yeah. But on the kids ones, it's just going to be completely black. Look a little bit more like that, but it's going to have like nice green like tips on it and everything. So the kids ones are going to be pretty sick. They're probably going to be the best kids boots that you could get, but they're still going to cost you like £125.
And will they have the padding like this on?
Yeah, so they're going to have like all the foam pods and everything in them, and it's all going to be like woven exactly the same. Like you literally wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So they're going to be like totally sick.
And is it like also to help your touch again?
The fly knit, no, the fly knit's more to do with the construction of the boot and how they like weave everything together. So sometimes you see like the different colours on the boots and the way that they kind of fade from one to another, and that's the way that they've woven the boot together. So it's all to do with like how they knit the boot, and that's why it's like fly knit. It's like how it actually gets made. But it does mean that they can do different things with it and add in like little kind of different heights and the way that it gets put together. So it can affect your game and it does help, and that's why like it's a good upper because they can do so much stuff with it.
If we come back down to this way, guys, what does that actually upper feel like to you? See these little bumps? What do they feel like?
They feel like they're like these ones here are a lot more smooth and these ones are more like rough as them.
Yeah, they are quite rough, aren't they? So do they have any kind of texture to them? Do you think they feel quite foamy?
Yeah, definitely.
See, this is actually really interesting, and one of my favourite things about this new boot is what Nike have said is when you go to touch the ball and control it under low velocity, so not much power, it actually creates a nice soft cushion feel, which is brilliant for first touch. But when you go to strike with power, again, brilliant for a goal scorer, they actually become a little bit firmer. So it gives you a little bit more power, which is obviously very clever. So it actually has kind of a living kind of thing in there to make it offer different kind of benefits. So when you want to control it and cushion it, you can. But when you want to strike it with power, you can also do that. Now you guys at the top, you've actually got one of the scaled down models. Okay, so that isn't the more elite ones that you're going to see Cavani and Lewandowski wear like this one. That's more scaled down, so brilliant for kind of youth players and also players who might play a bit of amateur football. So what do you think about that pair of boots?
The bottom of it is really grippy and it's got studs on the bottom to dig into the ground when you're playing.
Exactly, so we've covered about the upper, but the Soleplate is also brand new as well. So you're saying it's going to give you some nice grip. And obviously that's one of the biggest things because it has two types of shape of stud. Can you talk us through the actual shapes of them?
So one of them's more like a tech shape.
Yep.
And then the other one's more of a big other shape.
You've nailed it there. That's exactly right. So there's two types of shapes going on. Now, why do you think there's two types of shapes? Do you think they're going to make any difference?
So I think all of the kind of line shapes are on the outside to help you dig into the ground.
Perfect.
Like when you're going around the corner, like when you're passing and
Exactly right, so you've nailed it really. So what Nike have done is given those kind of tick shape, chevron shapes on the outside so you can make some nice quick cuts, and that's what the Hypervenom is all about. But then on the medial side, they're giving the hexagonal shapes, just like you said, so you can pivot and turn. So it's a boot which is made for kind of wiggers and forwards, and it's all about goal scoring. So if we have an overall vote, so if you raise your hand in the air, if you prefer the low cut version, raise your hands now. It's got a few votes for the low cut version, but then, so the rest of you guys would prefer the mid cut Phantom 3DF, is that right? So hands up for the Phantom 3DF.
Right guys, so we went through the whole of the Radiation Flare pack. You've seen some pictures of some of the other boots in the pack, so which is your favourite? Is it the Hypervenom, the Tiempo, the Magista, or the Mercurial? Which do you prefer?
I like the Magista.
You like the Magista, the red ones?
I like the Hypervenoms.
You like the Hypervenoms, these ones?
Tempo.
You like the Tempos, yeah? Which ones do you like?
Probably a tie between the Magistas and the Hypervenoms.
Alright guys, thanks for helping us play, helping us out with the video. Go enjoy your football.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give it a ripple, give it a ripple, give it a ripple. Finish in the goal then, finish the balls in the goal and you can go play your football. Great strike, TwoSkill.